Hey, you can't start without me. What the heck is that all about? This is my show. This is On Top and Hot, and that's Taylor behind the screen there. Hi, Taylor.
Hi.
Hi. This is On Top and Hot's live streaming event. We do it every Thursday, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, as you can see. This is coming from Penny Boys. In case you didn't know what group I'm with Penny Boys. I've been with Penny Boys for a couple of years now. They have a division for everything. If you're into the expensive stocks, the blue chips, the OTCs, tokens, cryptocurrency, gamble, they do it all over there. And we don't just talk about it. We've got professionals in each one of those areas that can help you, teach you. That's what I'm doing. I'm just sharing the good information with you, free of charge. You got to love it, don't you? So we have got our 8 tickers. That's what we're going to be looking at today, folks. 8 tickers already chosen up. Not that I chose them. You chose them. We've got them coming in from T-Rick and Thebes118. I know you changed your name. There wasn't an 8 there before. Brian, Belmore, I've got all of your tickers there. Belmore, we only got one of yours. You know how that goes. I took your first one, PPCB, which I do believe, who was that down here at the bottom? The Penny Stalker. He also requested PPCB. You'll be glad to know that we are looking at it because your ticker came in really late. We were never going to get to it, but we are going to look at that one. We've got SVEG here, MBS, my regulars. You guys are the reason we do this show. Hopefully you'll bring new people in. We got spare chairs there. So let's fill all those up. Kashera, great to see you here. Kevin, we're not going to get to XTIA. I know I've been posting a lot of news about that here recently. You got it in a little late, Kevin. It's nothing personal. I put up a announcement around 12 o'clock. People start dropping their tickers. By 4 o'clock, I got all of them I can handle. So that's why we're not looking at yours. Charlie W., good afternoon to you too, my friend. All right, Chris, I see you. No, you thought I skipped you. I didn't. I see you there, Mr. Vaughn. All right, folks. We got a long show here, and we'll try to keep it to an hour and a half. And let's get to it right now. First ticker we're going to look at is not MITQ. It's IDKFF. This came from T-Rick. This came from Twitter today, and I'm glad he requested it. This has had news today. We did an interview with 3D Capital not too long ago. I'm invested in this company. I am accumulating this stock. I bought more today. I will be adding and adding and adding to this company. I'm excited about this company. 3D Capital is a holdings company. They invest in other companies. They don't make any revenues on their own. Though they're changing, they are going to become a quasi company. They're going to start making revenues on their own. I can't remember how they're going to do it, but we spoke about it in the interview. So really, go to the interview. We touch on to a lot. They have got over 70 companies that they are invested into, and there is no way I know them all. I can't even talk about all the ones that we did talk about. There was just so many. But there are quite a few I want to jump into. IDKFF, 3D Capital, finished today at about 26 cents. She had a good day. She was up almost 27%, and she is on the best tier of the OTC, the QX. That's the top tier. You have your financials audited here. You have all the other filings that you get on the major exchange. Matter of fact, the QX is as close as you get to the major exchange. They are the most transparent and the most trustworthy. Best stocks to be investing in. Look at all those green ticks. Green is good. We got everything. Verified profile, verified transfer agent, independent directors, meaning that they want to uplist. You got to have independent directors to uplist. On this site, you list them here when you're serious about it. You're not just talking about it in a news press. You're doing something about it. So they've got that here. They are certified. That is because they are a foreign company. This is out of Canada. So they've got certain criteria they've got to meet as a foreign company to be on the American exchange. They've met that criteria. And they are penny stock exempt. One of the best green ticks you're going to get over there. This means they are not considered a penny stock. Even though it's 25 cents on the OTC, it literally is not a penny stock. A penny stock, the definition is any stock under $5. That's it. Nothing else. So why isn't this a penny stock? Because they've proven themselves to be reliable. It's like a teenager getting his independence, and he gets treated like an adult. Penny stock exempt means they've been in business for 3 to 5 years. They have had millions of dollars of assets or revenues during that time period, and they've kept up with their financial filings. They've done everything responsibly, like an adult, so there's no reason to treat them like a kid, even though they look like a kid. So this is a real good-looking company. So let's get some information about this company. We've got lots of news here. Oh, my goodness. All right. As I said, they are invested into a lot of different companies. We're not going to dive into all this news. I'm just headlining it so you can see just from March of 2024. The company announces a private placement with Serio Diagnostics Corp., the completion of a private placement with the same company, acquires securities in TotaQ Micro Inc. This one I'm excited about. TotaQ is working with micropayments. Micropayments is going to change the world. No more subscriptions. You're going to see subscriptions fall to the wayside. You'll be able to go to Netflix and watch the film you want, pay 28 cents. You'll be able to play a game you want and pay 8 cents to play 8 minutes worth. You'll be able to do a credit card transaction for less than a penny. Right now, we're paying 50 cents. All of this is going to be done because of the capability of AI. AI has no limit to how many transactions it can handle. And it's working on an expandable blockchain. That's just the best way to explain it. Blockchains have a matrix. They can only go so far, so big, no bigger. This has no limits. It can be as big as it can possibly grow. Also, another one of the companies that is working in the same area is AI Internet. Now, I've got a lot of mixed emotions about this. I'm not going to go into all of it. But what they're doing is bringing AI into our internet. Not one, many AIs are coming into the internet so they can collaborate and work together. They can teach each other. They can do anything together. And I'm keeping my mind on positive thoughts here. And they are expecting this to revolutionize the internet. What it's going to do is give more internet power, more computing power to us. They are going to be able to do more of the work, leaving more of the power available for businesses to use. That's going to open up an entirely different type of market than we have ever seen before. The company secures purchase agreement with Laphos Holdings, unlocks value for all shareholders with Birch Tree Investments. 3D Capital releases results for 3 and 9 month releases. I do believe I have that. Let's see here. Yes. All right. Now, as I said, the company isn't making revenues themselves. And right now, their companies aren't making revenues. What they do is they invest in a company. When it starts to make money, they will sell it and take that money and invest into another company. So their assets are growing. Their revenues aren't going anywhere, but their assets are getting bigger and bigger. That's a bottom line here. Well, their assets have taken a huge leap. Looking at the 3 months and the 9 months, March 2023 to March 2024. Last year, we were 11, almost 12 million down in deficit. Over the last 9 months, we are now up 8 million. That's a huge run there from minus 12 to positive 8. That's $20 million movement. And in the last 3 months, last year, we were minus 1.2. Now we're up 4.4. The assets are growing astronomically right now. They tell us that as of March 31st, 2024, the company had cash, investments, and digital assets of nearly $50 million. So even if they're not making any money, they've got lots of money. As of March 31st, 2024, the net asset value per share was 89 cents. Compared to the same period last year of 79 cents. What's the current price? 25 cents. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can figure out what the price of a stock should be. This is a real easy one. All you do is take the stockholder equity and you divide it by the outstanding share count. That gives you a price. Doing that, they say this is worth 89 cents. So we're 300% away from that. All right, let's go take a look at the relative volume for the company today. Well, she jumped, but man, that's really low volume. 56,000 shares a day for the last 30 days. Today, she did about 8 times that much, closer to 7, a little over 400,000, which is definitely under the radar for this company. People are not paying attention, folks. That's what I'm saying. Share structure for the company. That's good. 51 million outstanding shares. Insiders, I can't believe that that's right. Restricted shares, 51 million. Look, if it is 150,000, you take 150,000 quarters, you're looking at what? 1/4 of that, $35,000 is all they have invested in the company. I have noticed a lot of times these numbers here are not accurate. We're going to have to take these with a grain of salt. You can dive into the financials and you can look up the word outstanding and you can find the outstanding share count real easy. Float is going to be a little more difficult to find, especially if you're looking at a major exchange stock. Take a look at those financials now. Zip, right? They're not making anything annually. They're not making anything on the quarterly. It's the assets that are growing right now. Now, here's some more information. A lot of these companies are ready to start making revenue. They've got 6, 7, 8 companies that are just now this year ready to start making revenues, and they're going to be huge revenues. The AI internet company, Google, is already a partner with this company with that one. They say this is a $1 trillion idea, just this idea. Another company, which the CEO could not mention, is a huge company. He says, you're going to know them. He says they're on board too with the AI micropayments. They say that is a $1 trillion company. That's only two companies. They got another company that has a technological hardware, software that blocks signals from coming into autonomous vehicles, anything that's running by itself, so that you can't interfere with it. It's some sort of stealth shield blocking harmful information from coming in. That's another one of his companies. He has got a lot of them that are all disruptive, innovative companies. Can you tell I'm excited? So what do we got here? Not much money in the bank, about $9,000, 37 million in assets. And look at his liabilities, less than 10%, only 3 million in liabilities. So the company has $34 million as of this. They say they have 49 million in cash and investments and digital assets. So the company's doing well before they even start making revenues. And when they start making revenues, it's going to launch. Another thing I want to drop on you, the CEO said that this year they are planning on 5 or 6 spin outs. Companies that they own that are going to go onto the NASDAQ. When that happens, we get free shares. We get dividends in each one of those companies, these hot $1 trillion companies. I'm going to be in this company for a while because I want a lot of free shares in these hot $1 trillion companies. All right. I think that's pretty much going to cover everything. Our disclosures, that's old. That's from February. All these SC, 13Gs, 13Ds, all of them. These are all new investors. Every single one of them is a new investor who has gotten at least 5% of the company or more. You jump into these, up in the corner, it'll tell you, well, what is this? This is the company buying shares. I'm not sure what that's about. You just threw me for a loop. What about this one? Another one of the company. They are doing a share buyback. I forgot about that too. We covered so much information. They are doing a share buyback right now, which is what you're seeing there. They are buying shares back, giving us even more shareholder value. There are so many green ticks. The fact that they're not making money is not even a consideration to me right now. All right, before I get too excited here and take over the show, Taylor, show us the charts. Hello? We can't hear you. You're muted.
Sorry, I'm here. Sorry about that. Okay, I was saying we looked at this a couple times, once in March, once in April, and I had this note here for me on the 1 hour chart. It looked like it was starting to do an inverse cup and handle, and we didn't know if it was going to continue or if it would pick up support and come back up this way. But what ended up happening was it followed through, and you can see we actually blew past this support area. This was already drawn. All these lines were already drawn, except for this last one down here, which I just drew. where it picked up support around 20 cents, which was way a far cry from where we were before. As you can see, this little area was like a pickup area. It was kind of like a resistance support. You can see we kind of tried to come back through it and blew past it. Now we're on the daily charts right below that 200. We're trying to get through this right now, you can see. So let's go to the 1 hour. We can see what's going on in the most recent, which was today. In fact, during market hours, we had a big jump. This was during pre-market, and then during the day, it just kind of like bull flagged outward. So not much. It didn't go all the way back down to here, but it also did not have any continuation. We just kind of
we see it going sideways, biding time, waiting for that SMA to catch up to it, so it has something to bounce off of. That's what I love. Those accumulations sideways when all the SMAs are down. Patience. Wait for the SMA to come up.
Right. So this is showing signs of life. I know that the daily chart did not look that great, but we can see it here where, we just jumped up and we held that area. We didn't, we came back down. There is going to be pullbacks always, but we did kind of hold this flag out, which is good, even though the volume went down sometimes substantially. But that's a good sign. On the short chart, it looks a lot better than it does on the longer chart. So if you want to look at the 5 minute, we can even go as far as to do the 5 minute, and that's what the 5 minute looks like.
That looks real good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's all about the perspective. If you look at the daily chart, it's like, oh my gosh, we're way down here. But that's a good thing because we have a lot of room to run to the upside, and we're only, only 6 cents, but that's 25% or more of where we were from the bottom. But so we are up here, but there is plenty of room to grow all the way back up to, I think it was around 60 cents was that high that was between March and April. I believe it was around 60 cents. So that's more than 100% from where we are now. So this is
something I forgot to mention. There was a reason for that bounce today. And I'm sorry I missed it. There was news that came out today. They settled a lawsuit today with 3 entities, and they ended up getting a chunk of a company out of this lawsuit. Another investment. So that was the reason she jumped today.
Gotcha. I was going to ask, but I was a little bit off. Sorry about that. But yeah, so on the short-term chart, this looks like it's got signs of life. We are waiting for all these SMAs to catch up, like you said, or EMAs in my case, rather. These are coming up. You can see the 50 is really rising right along with it, and that's great news. This is on the short-term 5 minute chart.
This is a great setup because the CEO was saying that it was the summertime that the AI internet and the micropayments were going to be launching. So this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm positioning myself before any of these things start making revenue, before they uplist. I'm trying to get a position. And after talking to him, watch the interview, folks. I'm telling you, it's very exciting. There are so many things he's involved with that are disruptive. This is going to be a huge company in the future. Multi-trillion-dollar company, in my opinion.
Nice. Well, that's about it for that one. I want to move on.
Good enough. All right, let's move on to Bonsai International, ticker BNZI. She finished today at 17.17. That is 17.17 cents. She is down today, a little over 11%. And this is another penny stock on the major exchange, which comes with benefits, right? The OTC, you got to pay for every transaction. Buy your shares, sell your shares. It costs you, not on the major exchange. You get to trade pre-market, aftermarket. Lots of gains to be made in those periods of time, especially pre-market. You can never do that with OTC. And the 3 things I really like about the major exchange, there's a heck of a lot more money up there, a heck of a lot more volume up there, and a heck of a lot more rules. And those rules are good for us. That keeps the companies in line so they don't get away with all that stuff they're doing down on the OTC. So I like penny stocks on the major exchange. So what is Bonsai about? We're jumping into their most recent news press to get their description. Bonsai is a marketing technology company that provides essential marketing and sales solutions for businesses of all sizes. On a mission to help their customers achieve their mission, Bonsai enables companies of all sizes to target, engage, and measure both new and existing customers more effectively. Bonsai customers include Square, Hewlett Packard Enterprise, Thermo Fisher Scientific, Thinkific, Doodle, an active campaign among thousands of others. So as you can see, they're no little company. They work on making the most out of your customer leads. That's their primary business. Now, before I jump into this news, let's see. All right, this is what we're looking at here. They just keep bringing on more business. That's primarily the news. Bonsai signs 200 customers in February of this year. Q1 surge. Bonsai welcomes over 580 new customers Q1. Strong organic growth with an addition of 230 customers just in April. 169 new customers in May. They did have a public offering of $2.5 million. And of course, they're working with AI. They've got a new product, Phone AI, which, you and I have probably already dealt with this. They're using AI on phones to do anything that people are doing on phones, whether it's taking a survey, making a sale, whatever. That's what they're doing. So they're involved in that as well, which is a whole new revenue stream for them. Now, jumping into this piece of news, this is the most recent one. It came out June 6th. The company today announces the addition of 110 new and 59 reactivating customers during May 2024, bringing the total year-to-date signups to 979. Here's a couple of the companies that they just signed up. We continue to see customer momentum build as we move through Q2, including adding several new large accounts and key renewals in May. We've added nearly 1,000 logos this year so far, and we look forward to providing our new and current customers with powerful solutions to engage their customers and grow their organizations. They're growing fast. There is no doubt that they're just exploding. Every single month, they're adding hundreds and hundreds of new customers. So what's the relative volume around this company? Well, she's doing pretty decent, and she's increased in her volume today, going from roughly 5.6 million shares a day over the last 30 days to 6.4 million today. Share structure for Bonsai. Oh, lucky us. Outstanding share count isn't even 20 million. I don't have a clue what the float is. They don't tell us how many shares the insiders own. All I know is it's not going to be any lower than 1 million. There is a minimum criteria on the major exchange for a float of 1 million. And you can't be any higher than the outstanding share count. So somewhere between 1 million and 20 million. And if it is the full friggin' 19 million, I'm okay with that, folks. That's a decent float. Market cap is pretty low. We're down here at 3.7 million. Financials for Bonsai. Get up there. 2021, they had nothing. First revenues on the books was 2022. Came out swinging hard. 5.3 million. Took home profit of 3.3 million. 2023, they dropped some. They're down to 4.5 million, but still bringing home strong profit, 3.1 million. Quarterlies. All right, I'm going to presume they didn't miss anything here. In a lot of cases on your major exchange stocks, quarterlies are tough to get. You end up more with semi-annuals. They aren't here either. So what we've got are 2 quarterly reports, one a year ago in March and one this year in March. And they're close, 1.1 million to 1 million. Profit, it's close to, they're roughly around 700,000. Balance sheet for the company. Well, we got about $1 million in the bank, about 4.5 million in assets. Oh, God. Whoa. Got a lot of liabilities here, folks. 35 million, which means, yeah, we have got about 31 million in stockholder deficit. Not real good there. And let's see, I probably covered these, but just to be sure, I love my disclosures. The most recent disclosure came out on the 31st, and this was changing election of directors, appointment of certain officers. If you're interested, you can dive into that and get some more information. So that's what's going on, folks. They've got a lot of business that is just constantly coming in, and their primary business is taking leads and making them better so that they're getting the most out of their lead generation, which that's a lot of money. You wouldn't believe how much money people spend on lead generation. So let's take a look now at ticker BNZIM's charts.
Okay, 1 second here. Okay, so I'm just gonna, this is, I was gonna ask you, I have very limited data. This is just from December on. So just real quick, I want to show that it reached a high of a little over $16 and its low is around 16 cents. So there's that.
How
So let's
convenient.
go. We'll zoom into the 4 hour, what's been going on kind of more lately. Yeah, so on this chart, for some reason, it's showing me that it came around on December, and I checked another source. December, it IPO'd at around $16, give or take, and or 10 something, went up to $16 and then has made its way down, way down. So this was like just the end of May, we were at its all-time low, which is around 16 cents. Now we're at around 17 cents. So you can kind of see we're just kind of, yeah. I don't know if this is support or not. I don't know if it's going to come down anymore. It looks like it's been trying to pop up several times here. You can see this, and this is all during, this looks like it's pre-market hours in this brown shaded areas. Let's look at the 1 hour and see if we can see any kind of signs of life. Well, there's
No,
our 1 hour chart. Look at this, came right up to the 200 and right back down.
yeah, I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel there.
I don't either, especially when you get down to these lower time frames. It's kind of like the higher time frames, you can kind of, well, it's picking up support, it's doing this. Well, if you go down to these lower time frames, this like 1 hour, for example, this is not looking good. This is a lot of lower highs.
Yeah. And as day traders, that's what we're looking at. What's supposed to happen? The next few days look
That's
like
why
it's
I'm
still
doing
going.
this. So let's go down to the 15 minute, and it's not looking much better.
No.
So this is real straight. All of the EMAs are lined up backwards. Backwards meaning it's bearish. Like I call it backwards just because, we want to see bullish if we're trying to get into something, right? So
Yep, they're upside
we got
down and under the 200.
we got the 250, 21 and 9, and we're right there. Like it's curling up at the very end, but man, this is not looking
Yeah.
very tasty to
No,
me.
I would expect if she was going to make a change of trend, I'd expect a few more days of falling, leveling out, and then coming back up. I
I
don't
do
believe
too.
unless she has a
Yeah.
big piece of news come out.
Look how close we are to its all-time low, which was around I think it was around 16.20 or some 16
I'd
cents.
be looking for that.
So we're very close to that, dangerously close to that. I wouldn't even call this support. The reason I drew it is because it was its all-time low. So
Well, and it may be what it takes when stocks hit all-time lows, 52-week lows. You got a lot of shoppers
52.
out there.
Yeah.
And shoppers will do a fundamental research. And if the company has value, they'll buy it because it's undervalued. And you'll see it bounce and bounce and bounce. So if you do see it hit that line and start to bounce, they're going to see what we see. It's undervalued. And yet that would be the time to get in. Not when it hits it, but when it's
Right.
bouncing off of it.
Yeah.
And not everything, just some of what you want. You never get everything at one time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing any kind of chart pattern or anything that's making me think that this is reversing. So that's about it for this one. I mean, I wish I had better news for you.
Amen. Next.
Next.
What do we got? We got Road Dog here. All right, we're just going to go ahead and say it. I'm not going to play any games here. This is a cannabis company. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
You can call it Twigs. That's been being picked up. People have been using Twigs on Twitter as if we need to call it Twigs over there. So this is a cannabis company. She's been around for a while, but she's just now starting to come into revenues. This is ticker RWGI, Road Dog International. Finished today at $0.015. She was up over 18% today. She is on the OTC market, the bottom rung, the riskiest rung, pink. She is pink current, but she's got all the validated information you're normally going to get on a pink, the verified profile and the transfer agent. So she's looking okay there. So let's get some information about this company. I told you they're a cannabis company working primarily in California. I don't even know if they're anywhere else. So looking at the news here, we got lots of news, don't we? Well, I need you to see this news. We're not going to dive into any of this. Let me see what this is. All right, one piece of news we're going to dive into just briefly because they tell us how much money they're planning on making this year. So going back to May of last year, okay, we are a ways back, a full year. But this company has not been sitting idle, even though the revenues haven't been moving. Company expands into healthcare with acquisition of AlexCure pain relief. In July of last year, the company signs a binding letter of intent for cannabis manufacturing, distribution, and delivery. In December, the company acquires Parabola Management. You want to know anything about these? We haven't got time to dive in. You're seeing where the news presses are. Jump in there, see what you can learn. In January, the company acquires and initiates the new California cannabis distributor license. In February, the company signs an exclusive distribution agreement with D9 LLC. In March, the company announces 204% gains in revenues, which they just started, and they're already picking up real quick. In May, the company expands Tree Moguls, that's one of their brands of marijuana, into retail cannabis dispensaries and cannabis delivery services. The company announces successful launch of a new line of products, their CBD product line. And the last bit of news here, which came out today, company expands into dispensary acquisitions and signs letter of intent for dispensary licenses. Lots of information we can be going into there. These dispensary licenses, folks, are the big deal. They're expensive. There's a limited number of them. Every state only has so many. And when companies go out of business, you get the license with them. So they're probably just picking up a lot of these smaller companies right now and getting all their licenses as well. So the one piece of news I'm diving into is the most recent one here. And we're only going to read a couple lines. This new dispensary is located in the heart of Orange County. The Costa Mesa dispensary is situated in a high-density area in California, and they are expected to generate annual revenues between $5 million and $7 million just here. Just here. We haven't even considered the revenues from the other places, and I just showed you how many other places that they've got going on right now. So let's take a look at the general information. What is the relative volume? Whoa. Under the radar, as most cannabis stocks are right now. She's been doing less than 500,000 shares a day over the last 30 days, 318,000. Today, she did less than that, about 50% or more or less, 136,000. Share structure for Road Dog. Kind of high. We got 215 million shares. The good news is the insiders own a ton of them. I like seeing that. They got 171 million shares of this company. We end up with 44 million. This wasn't going to be a high float, but because they took all those, I'm going to consider that a decent float, folks. Anything under 100 million is great. And now we've only got 44 million in Road Dog. I'm liking it. Market cap for the company is very low, 2.7 million. Financials. All right, as you can see, there hasn't been anything on the books until September of 2023. $20,000. They just got there. Made $6,000 profit. Quarterly, it's growing. 20,000 to 103,000 to 315,000. Now, no, we're not talking millions of dollars, but you know, when you start off at a stoplight, you don't go from 0 to 60 instantly. You go through each gear. They're going through their gears. They're moving up right now. Profits are moving up right along with them. This is looking perfect. And it could be right on time. In case some of you didn't know, Biden is changing the scheduling for cannabis, and they actually gave us a deadline. It was going to be somewhere at the end of August, I believe it was, about 60 days. And it was like, great, we've got a window of opportunity. Well, the DEA also wants their hands on the information that is going to be acquired and taken care of. They say they're going to need a few months. So now we've pushed it to October, kinda. That's what they say. Maybe, roughly, October. Could be another organization who wants to get a hold of that information after that too. So our window of opportunity is an open window. I mean, we're not quite sure when the deadline is for this, but it is being worked on. I'm sure it's just about the government getting as much of the money as they possibly can. That's the way I see it. Take a look at the balance sheet for the company. Not a lot in the bank, about $25,000. Not a lot of assets, about $500,000. Less than half of that, basically, for liabilities. So we are just starting into revenue. We have a little bit of stockholder equity, almost $250,000, and they have just done a lot of deals, a lot of acquisitions. Get in there, do your due diligence, see what's going on with all of that. Mesa is going to do 5 to 7 million this year, and they're at 350,000 right now, and we didn't look at the others' revenue. This one deserves more due diligence, folks. But right now, it deserves a stock peek. Taylor, can you give us a peek at that chart?
Sure. I
Sure.
definitely can do that. I always have a hard time finding the button. Okay. So, I was just drawing a couple lines for the
Oh,
yeah, this is the daily chart. So we reached a high in February at almost 10 cents, not quite. Excuse me. So I drew this one here because it looked like it was picking up support there in the middle of March and April at around 3 cents. But we broke right through that and we reached a low of around 1 cent, which was support over here too. So we're right in between that 1 cent and the 3 cent mark. And I
that's
do
not
not,
looking bad, actually. You can see
yeah.
the
It,
change is happening right now.
it looked like it's picking up something here. So that's good news, but I would like to see it way up here. So let's
Oh,
drop it down to the one
yeah, me
hour.
too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for everyone's sake, I mean, I'm sure someone's obviously interested in it. Yeah, we're still on my gosh, not a
That's,
whole lot of volume, so these candles look a little strange, but that's okay. Kind of barcodey looking, as you can tell. Like some of them are just a little. These candles are a little off.
she's
So
moving
we're
nice,
getting.
though. It's a slow
It's just.
incline over
Mhm,
the 50. She is
mhm.
moving in the right direction, crossing her SMAs without any hoopla. This is a nice slow moving stock that is doing what she, and look at that 200 coming down fast.
Yeah,
She could, in just a couple of days, be in a position for a breakout if she continues this motion.
needs to get over this, which is 1.5 cents exactly. So that's another good little point there.
Yeah, good mark. Good resistance there.
I like that one. So
She's
we'll
right
drop
at it.
it. Yeah, so this one we need to cross that, and then I think we might have a little bit of a chance. Yeah, so you can see where we are just banging our head on that right there at 1.5
Yeah,
cents.
that shows determination to me. She wants to. I mean, she's not pushing down. She's getting tighter and tighter. She's getting into a wedge, and she's gonna pop like a thing of toothpaste.
Yeah, you're right. It does look like it's getting into a wedge, but it looks like it's a rising wedge. So I'm
Uh-huh.
not sure. So we'll see. We'll see. We're gonna have to just keep an eye on it. Right now, I mean, we have banged our head on that several times.
Yeah, I
But
think the chart's worthy of watching, but I think
mhm,
the company itself is worthy of watching with all those deals and going from 350,000 to 7 million by the end of the year. We're talking 6 months here. That's going to be one hell of a boost in revenues. That's a lot
yeah.
of extra business.
All right.
All righty.
Sounds good.
Next. All right, what do we got here? I was peeking to see where I was looking at.
I am not sure.
We are at PPCB. We've had a couple of requests for this one, and I was completely unfamiliar with this company. This is ProPank Biopharma. This is a Australian company. She finished the day at 0024. She was up 100% today. I like that. She is pink current, but we've got no validated information over here. Nothing. I don't like that. Not that that's a deal breaker, but without any validated information, you feel a little gullible, and I hate feeling gullible. So what is ProPank about? ProPank Biopharma is developing a novel approach to prevent recurrence and metastasis of solid tumors by using pancreatic proenzymes that target and eradicate cancer stem cells in patients suffering from solid tumors. Stem cells are magic. Stem cells turn into whatever cell you need them to be. I mean, literally, they can turn into part of your eye, part of your liver, part of your heart. Stem cells are magic cells. Well, cancer knows it too. And cancer actually produces stem cells that it changes into cancer. So they're trying to create a drug that can kill the stem cells of cancer so cancer can't reproduce. So what do we got here? We got two pieces of news here. This is all we've got, and there's not a lot of information here to share with you. And I did do a lot of running around trying to get information. I just don't stick to the OTC market. If there's nothing here, I'll dive over onto Google. I'll check Twitter most of the time. Sometimes I forget to check Twitter. Well, what we've got here is about that new drugs that they're trying to work on for taking care of this cancer. On the 8th, ProPank Biopharma CEO shares views on revolutionizing cancer treatment, an inside look at the drug development. They talk about it. Then here, ProPank Biopharma receives certificate of grant for composition of proenzymes for cancer treatment. We're going to dive into this. Today, the company announced that a certificate of grant for the company's composition of proenzymes for cancer treatment patient patent was received from the European Patent Office. This is the fourth European patent granted, and after validation in selected countries across Europe, will result in the company's IP portfolio growing to 94 patents filed in major global jurisdictions. Europe is considered a major global region, which accounted for 24% of global pharmaceutical sales in 2021. This is a significant percentage when you consider that in 2022, the worldwide pharmaceutical market was valued at $1.4 trillion. Now, this PRP that they're working with, PRP is a mixture of two proenzymes. A synergistic ratio of 1:6 inhibits growth of most tumor cells. Examples include pancreatic, ovarian, kidney, breast, brain, prostate, colorectal, lung, liver, uterine, and skin cancers. This kills stem cancer cells in all of those. That is a miraculous drug that they got. I'm liking what I'm reading here. They have also received orphan drug designation status from the U.S. Drug and Food and Drug Administration for the treatment of pancreatic cancer. Now, that is only one indicator, pancreatic cancer. As we were just reading, there are lots of different ones, and each one is called an indicator. And each one will have to be added to the FDA's list and proven. You just can't throw it in there. It's got to be proven. So when they do these tests, rather than throw everything in there at one time and say, oh, it cures all of these, it's just quicker and easier to pick one and get it out there on the market and then say, oh, it also works on these as well. Then while you're making money off of it on the one, you can then start having it tested for the others. And that's pretty much what this company's been doing. So what is the relative volume around PPCB today? Big jump. We got about 5 times her normal volume, going from roughly 20 million up to over 100 million today. Share structure for the company. Well, we've got 167 million outstanding. I'm not liking this. All right, something's wrong here. I did go look around here. Look at these numbers with me, folks. Outstanding share count is 167 million. I keep telling you over and over again, float cannot be over the outstanding share count. What the heck is that? That's a float bigger than the outstanding share count. It's impossible. Doesn't exist. Can't be. Then down here, restricted shares. These are the shares the insiders own. Shares just like me and you. Common shares. That's not preferred or restricted, just common shares. What? They got 750 million there roughly. At that price, you multiply that out, it is less than $3,000. This is all wrong. Something's wrong here. I went over to Google trying to get some accurate information. It looks like 161 million shares is outstanding. I couldn't find the float. Some said 51 million. Some said 161 million. I have no clue. But I guess the outstanding share count is as close as we're going to get to being accurate. Though, again, you can jump into the disclosures. They will always tell you how many the outstanding share count is. Matter of fact, folks, just to be real quick here, because I want to show this to you because, was that a 10Q? No. They don't have 10Qs, do they? They do. All right, so they may not have any validated information over here with the verified profile or the verified transfer agent, which are important. We do want to see those. They do have validated information. Unlike most pinks, this company is SEC reporting. They're using 10Qs over here, so that is a whole different ball game for us. So when you jump into these 10Qs, right down here, right here, folks, this area here, it will tell you common stock, and it'll give you 2 dates. Right there, it'll tell you how many shares are authorized. Then it'll say how many shares are outstanding as of this date and how many were outstanding a year ago. So there it is. Our outstanding share count is 109 million. Wow, what a lot of work just to figure that out. So you can always find it right in those number areas, right where I showed you the outstanding share count will always be there. All right, where are we at now? What have I shared with you? We were looking at the, oh, right. So we were at the share structure. Let's take a look at the financials. That's sad. What is that about? All right, so we got nothing coming in ever. But over and over again, it's like virtually the same number. They have to pay out $28,000 every year for making no money. That's a little peculiar. There's got to be a reason for that. Well, it breaks down to every quarter. They're paying between $6,000 and $8,000. And this isn't cost of operations. I don't know what it is. So they're not making any money right now, and they're losing a little bit every quarter. Balance for this balance sheet for the company, $6,000 in the bank, $37,000 total assets. How do you survive? Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at that. 3.7 million. We go from 37,000 to 3.7 million in liabilities. Ouch. So we've got basically 3.7 million in stockholder deficit. Not looking real good over here. We're not making money. We don't have any stockholder equity. And we've already gone through these. Is anything there extra? Let me check this 18K here just to see. Right. They had an extension agreement. I think I wrote this down over here. They had a $50,000 investment from somebody. That is one of their 8Ks. And another one of the 8Ks, they got an extension on a loan, so they didn't get into any hot water with that. So that's everything we got going on with PPCB. A little bit of good, a little bit of bad, and yet we've got 100% jump today. And we haven't had any news. We haven't had any filings come out today, folks. So that's pretty impressive. Let's take a look at that chart.
Oh, yeah, let's look at this. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just going to warn you, this is going to look really absurd at first, but I have to show this because it's just crazy. So
where is it?
Look at the entire thing. It looks like it started out at $80,000. 80. So that is not correct because we have a 1 for 1,000 reverse split here.
There's
and another 1 for 1,000. So we've had 2 reverse splits. So that's not accurate. So
well, that's 2,000 that they no, that's 1,000 times 1,000
times 1,000. So
all right. So they're multiplying the prices on the board. So don't trust anything behind those reverse splits.
Yeah, if you look at the daily chart, all like the whole thing, you're going to be like, whoa, what the heck? Oh, but don't worry about that. So this is the 4 hour, and I've zoomed in, so now we can kind of see what's going on now. So I've marked off this little area that's around 0045, and then this area down here, which is right at 0006. So we kind of picked up support there. You can see this 200 is coming down really sharply, which is good. We're catching up. So we've had a couple of pops. That was, let's see, in May and then today. So we're trying to move.
That's actually looking. It's looking tempting right now.
Right now it is, because look at this. This is the 1 hour. I like this one even better. I mean, we've come down. We even came down below the 50, but you can see right on the 200. This is the 1 hour. So when you zoom in, it looks way better. Just don't look at that daily chart. It's insane. So, I mean, a couple things here. It kind of looks like we could have a double top, but at the same time, I kind of see this as like a bull flag. We're bull flagging out. So this could be the start of a reversal, that besides this, just down here. But we popped up twice.
Watching. We've got that
definitely
now starting to lift. So everything is pushing in the right direction.
The volume's starting to come up too, because if you looked at that other chart, I mean, you can see down here we're just little, and just within the last couple of weeks, we've had a lot of movement. So that's good. Let's look at the 15 real quick. Yeah, so here we go. This is looking pretty tasty. A lot better. And perspective, this is way better. So this is like from today, starting here. So we just basically started running right around market open. This is 8:45 Central, and we came all the way up to 0033 and ended at 0024. It looks like.
Yep, she has got more than 50% of that run. Went sideways until she met an SMA, and she started to work it. I like everything we're seeing right there. She's definitely one to watch too. Even though she
And
hasn't got a catalyst, the chart is hot, and that's what we really play. We don't play
and that's
the
more than 100% run, even ending where it is now, because we started off at this 0012
right.
and we're at 0024. So that's 100%, even if you don't include this high right here, if you just include where it ended. So
Pretty
it looks
impressive.
pretty good. So that's what we're seeing there.
Moving on to our next stock. This is Endra Life Sciences, ticker NDRA, another penny stock on the major exchange, the NASDAQ. She finished the day at 11.5 cents. She dropped about 17% today. So let me see here. Let me just take a quick gander here to see what I got going on. All right. So what is Endra Life Sciences about? Well, I do believe I pulled up something here. Yes, this gives us a great readout of what the company's doing. Endra is developing a next generation thermoacoustic enhanced ultrasound, which they call TAEUS system, to enable clinicians to visualize human tissue composition inside the body, the function and the temperature in ways previously only possible through a CT or an MRI, and at a fraction of the cost. TAEUS is initially focused on the measurement of fat in the liver as a means to assess and monitor steatotic liver disease, formerly known as NAFLD-NASH, a chronic liver disease. I do believe I have a picture here. Just to give you an idea, the device is sort of like this with ultrasound, and it's able to take pictures with the sound bouncing back. And let's see what else we got here. Right. This you need to know. They are putting more shares on the market. Now, this is a shelf offering, a mixed shelf offering, which means they're putting a little bit of everything on the market. We've got common shares. We've got a variety of warrants, Series A, Series B, and they're putting on millions and millions of each one of these. Now, the float, this has already been approved. It's already happening. The shares, there's 6 million of those. That will kick our float up 6 million. When you look at the warrants, warrants are promissory notes. They're coupons. They allow you the right to buy a share of stock somewhere in the future, 3 to 5 years down the road, normally at a discounted price. Maybe the stock's going for $5 and you get to buy it for $1. Woohoo! You're loving it. Well, every time someone exercises a warrant, it gives birth to a new share, which ends up in the float. Well, there are a total, when you convert all the warrants, 181 million shares that will eventually end up in the float. But that is way down the road. But if you're getting into this for a long hold, you need to be aware of that. And it doesn't have to just be 5 years. They can use them anytime once they go active. Once they hit a key active point on a price, it becomes active. And maybe they hit a strong surge in 7 months and it goes to $20. All those warrants could be cashed in just like that. And that fast, you could have all those extra shares over there on the float. Now, one more here. What is this? The news. Gotta love the news. On May 2nd, Endra Life Science strengthens intellectual property with the issuance of 5 new international patents. And on the 20th of May, Endra provides update following in-person meeting with the FDA. Now, I read that one. I would have shared it with you, but there's really no information there. They go into all the details that they shared with the FDA, making a good case. But we're waiting to hear what the FDA has to say. So we haven't heard anything back from that. And there's their announcement that they've just put $8 million worth of shares on the market. And I explained that to you. I do believe that is covering most of everything we got here. Let's see. News-wise, yeah, I think that covers all the news. Let's take a look at the general information for the company. Wow. Look at the explosion there in volume. We went from 2.2 million shares to over 50 million shares today. That is 25 times their normal volume, folks. That's huge. Share structure for NDRA, outstanding. Outstanding share count is about 11 million. A low float, they constitute low, is starting at 10 million. Anything under that is just ridiculous. We're right there at the cusp. Now, I don't know what the float is, but it's going to be less than 10 million. So chances are we literally have an actual low float. So this could be real exciting. Market cap is very low. We're at 1.5 million. Financials, we got nothing annually, not a penny coming in. I got nothing on the quarterlies either. No money for this company. Looking at the balance sheet, we've got 1.1 million in the bank. We've got 5 million total assets. Liabilities are less, 1.3. So we are holding equity in this company of $3.6 million. Can't complain about that. Better than loss. And let's see. I didn't pull anything up here. Do I have any notes about this one? Yes, 8K, 8 million investment. We just had an $8 million investment here. Yeah, we did. Some company came in. I don't know the name of it here. Craig Hallam Capital Group. They bought themselves $8 million worth of shares. That is a huge investment into the company that just happened. I don't think there was anything else there we had to look at. It seems to me I wanted to look at this. Oh, we did look at that. I knew we needed to. All right. So that covers all the information there. And the strange thing is, a lot of companies, when they do a public offering, you see the stock fall. But I have also seen many stocks start to run like crazy when they start to put more shares of the company out there. This one didn't seem to like it that much. Let's see what the chart looks like for NDRA. Oh, can't hear ya.
Sorry about that. I said I'm going to look at the daily chart real quick and then I'll zoom in. So yeah, I muted it because I was coughing. So we reached a high of like 280. This was at the end of last year. So that, I mean, sounds like last year sounds like a long time ago, but that was only 6 months ago. 280
Right.
versus 11
Right.
cents. That's not good. These are regular candles. You can see
God,
we've
that's
just like
horrible.
gapped all the way down, and we've gapped down here. And the volume just freaking exploded with the last week or so. And they're not reporting any revenue at all. Even
No.
though they are putting out these reports, they have no revenue. So, yeah, take that for what you want. Let me put this one on. Okay, so now we're on the 1 hour with Heikinashi candles, so we can see a little bit more of what's going on. Kind of marked off this area around 26 cents where it was kind of dancing up on top of it and just completely blew past it. Even with this big spike in volume that happened yesterday and pre-market, so this happened at 3 a.m. Central time. So it was right when, I mean, it tried to get all the way up to, it went up to about 25 cents. And then throughout the day, it just went down. You can see what happened there after hours, and then pre-market the next day, still down, and here we are now. So we didn't go all the way back down to 7 cents, but we still did not hold any of this big jump. So
There is no cause for that. I can see no reason for why it fell.
Yeah, and
That's
this
a
is
drop
even
and a half.
yeah. So this starting here is Wednesday pre-market. You can see what happened here, and we just lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and you can see where this is going. So this is the short-term chart.
It doesn't
15
look
minutes.
nice at all. That just looks like it's rolling down a very long hill.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, we didn't go all the way back down to 7. I mean, but it definitely could.
God, look
I
at
mean,
those SMAs, the way they changed right there at the post market. I mean, that's a 90-degree angle virtually on those 20. Yeah, right there. Oh my God, look at the angles on those.
yeah, so this is VWAP right here, the orange. So ignore that one if you want. I can turn it off. So this is the 200, 50, 21, and 9.
Gotcha.
Sorry
Yeah, I
about that.
still don't
Yeah,
see
I'll turn
still don't see any hope in it. It doesn't look good to me.
it does not.
And
Yes,
it
the
really
black
does.
areas the black areas are during market hours, blue is after hours, and brown is pre-market. So you can see the most actions it got was yesterday right at pre-market, 3 a.m. Central Time. And we tried to make it back up to that previous support of resistance and didn't even make it there. But
Now
look
this
at all
company,
these
I like the
lower highs.
company. I mean, I think they've got something here. You know, a new device that can read not bones but tissue. All of our technology reads bones. The tissue just becomes grayed out. It's just white noise or pink noise or whatever the heck you want to call it. So if you have a device now that can read different levels of tissue like an MRI does, and it's handheld and it's cost efficient, look, that's going to be a hot ticket item. When the FDA comes out and says thumbs up for it, I think this could seriously run hard. Right now may be a good time to watch it to get a good cheap price. I think she's going to get cheaper still, but I don't see a problem with the company except that she's not looking great on the charts right now.
No, and I'm wondering what happened at the beginning or Tuesday. It fell
I
completely.
didn't, unless there was a tweet or an article or something, because those things don't happen for no reason.
I mean, we
Somebody
closed Monday at 21 cents and then opened the next day. I mean, we were down here at 7 cents. That's insanity. I'm not sure what happened, that big drop, and then it popped right back up, but not all the way.
Yeah, talk about filling the gap. Jeez, that was quick.
That was crazy. I am not sure.
All right, she looks sad, folks, but as I said, watching her isn't a bad thing because I like what the company's got, and you could pick this up at a real cheap price the way things are going. I'd wait till she hits that low again. I'll bet she gets down there.
Good.
Good.
Not that far.
All right, let's see what we have for the next one here. Oh, QEDN. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I am so tired of talking about Saatchi Inchi. Saatchi Inchi. Oh, God, folks. All right, we've talked about this company a couple times. The company is QEDN, QED Connect. She's really cheap. She's 0007. She's on the pink tier. By the way, she's flat. I don't know if she went up or down today. We'll have to leave that up to Taylor. All I see is she's even Steven right now. She's on the pink tier. She's current. We've got her validated information with those green ticks. Best we can hope for unless they opted to go SEC reporting, which we'll find out here in a minute. So the last time we looked at this, I think I jumped around a lot. I'm going to try to get as much information as I can right here from this description. It's pretty good. But of course, always do your own due diligence behind me, folks. I'm not covering everything. I may miss something really important. I may get something wrong. So always follow behind me. GMS Green Mind Solutions, SAS, a Colombian company, started to work with farmers in Colombia in 2013 to develop an alternative crop to the illegal cocaine that they were growing. They are now planting Saatchi Inchi, a superfood rich in omega 3, 6, and 9. You know how many people get no omega in their diet on a regular basis? And complete vegan protein with all 9 essential amino acids. QED Connect invested in GMS to help develop the Saatchi Inchi seeds into a tasty snack, a powder, and a beverage. The beverage is like a milk. The company markets all its products to private labels and its registered brand GM Saatchi Inchi in Colombia and worldwide. GM Saatchi Inchi has also developed the pet brand and has obtained the certification to manufacture GM Saatchi Inchi pet brand. Not just people, pets too. October 2023, GM Saatchi Inchi signed an agreement with Kumulti Agro to purchase all its production. Kumulti Agro is an association of 700 families in Putumayo that received $5.7 million from South Korea International Cooperation to do the crop substitution with Saatchi Inchi, and it's managed by the United Nations Office of Drug and Crime. This is huge, folks. This isn't a little thing here. GMS has also 2 more projects with Colombia Sustainable Project, financed by the Colombia government. They're working with governments. They've got the backing basically of the Southern Korean government covering this whole area of 700 families in Kumulti Agro. They've got 2 other ones from the Colombia government, and they're selling this stuff all over the world. They've got the powder that mixes into anything that you want to mix it into. They got the beverage like a milk, and then they've got like dried peanuts, potato chips sort of things. Crunch, crunch, crunch. So what other information have I got for you? All right, there's a lot of information here, and I'm not going to be able to get to it all, but I'm going to tag on to some of it. The company owns gold mines. Who knew? They've got two pieces of news here. You're going to have to do your own research. We did tag on to this the last time we talked about it, but they are involved with mining as well. Junior resources, as they like to call it. They also, let me see, Ichisanchi updates past audit of ingredient, negotiation of food processing plant, and Nestle updates. And I want to get back to that here in a second, but I also want to touch on to the fact that they just acquired 50% of Foodie TV. Foodie TV is a very popular program. It's on lots of different places, Hulu, Amazon. It's on lots and lots of places. And they bought it primarily to advertise and make shows about Sacha Inchi so that people can be educated and they can get more people interested in this stuff. It is a brilliant move. I mentioned Nestle. Over here, I had jumped into their most recent financial. The last time we talked about this, they had approached Nestle a couple years ago and brought them a few products. Well, Nestle says, okay, we're interested in your drinks, but we want them in the tetrahydra packs. They wanted them in the little packs so that you could get a bunch of them together. They didn't want the big one. Well, I guess the company went along and fixed that. And that was all we knew. We had no more information if a deal had been made. Now, I don't know if a deal has been made, but I am now over here in their most recent financial. Here, Nestle products that can have GMS, Sachi, Inchi put into them. They've got a list of them here. But what caught my attention was the profit margins. Right here, they're already breaking down the profit margin of Nestle's GM, Sachi, Inchi project. You don't do this unless something is happening. You don't waste your time putting it into a financial. So even though we don't see any news here, it looks like Nestle has got some deal with this company for their Sacha Inchi. That's going to be huge. That's going to be gigantic. So what was the relative volume around the company today? Well, I hit the button. We'll find out. Oh, really? She dropped from 35.5 million down to about 11.5 million. That's about 2/3, 66% drop in volume. Ow. Share structure, way too many shares. 3.2 billion. The great thing here is that the insiders own about 3/4 billion of them. That's a nice hold, but that still gives us a ton of shares. We get 2.5 billion shares. Now, I'm going to say this now. I haven't said it at all, but I say it every show. When you see a stock that has billions of shares, just expect a reverse stock split. When? Well, we've been noticing that when these OTC stocks start closing in on a penny, when they get popular, when the volume starts kicking up and things all start looking good, right then they do a public offering and a reverse stock split. They make money on both sides of the coin there. They don't actually make money on the reverse stock split, but they get all those shares right back into the bank where they can then put them back on the market and sell them all over again and get paid. So we have got 2.5 billion shares in our float, and our market cap is only 2.3 million. Financials for QEDN. They just started making money in 2022, $333,000. They got to keep about half of that as profit. They're making a lot more money in 2023, about 4 times as much, but they only doubled their profit. They're going to have to tweak that. Quarterlies, I don't know why one's missing here. 25, 46, 90. The first 3 quarters there are getting better and better. We stop with nothing, and then we've got $11,000 and we're losing money. Something's happened, and I don't know what it is, and we should be getting another one out here anytime. Balance sheet for QEDN. Oh, come on, really? $1,000 in the bank. You probably got to keep that in the account just to keep it open. Total asset, $1.5 million. That's okay. It was funny. The liabilities, 1.1. So we got a wee bit of stockholder equity here, just under $500,000. So they're not making any profit, but we do have stockholder equity. Disclosures. Okay, all their financials look good. And 2015. We haven't had any filings in a very long time. All right, so the company looks good. I really like the fact that Nestle is somewhere in the workings out there. That's what I would focus in on right now. Saatchi Inchi has got a lot of products. You can go to their site. They got lots of information. The financial right now has a lot of extra information in it. So you could go in there. Most of it is all down at the bottom. And I would do some searching on Google. I think you might find some more information about QEDN and Nestle outside of all that we've been looking at. And it wouldn't hurt to check Twitter out too. All right, I'm done with my department. Let's go on over to Taylor's department. Charting.
My department. Okay, yeah. So we looked at this 2 weeks ago, this QEDN. It was right here. So I don't know if I would call it barcodey, but kind of, we just have these because we're in that 00 area. So the ones I had already marked all this off. This is 0006. This is 0008. So we were in between those two areas, which is where it has been the last week or so. As you can see, these are just right in the middle of those two areas, 0006 and 0008. We got to get back over that, obviously, in order to move higher. But it has been in that area, here, it was over back here. It was a big resistance for a while, like in March and April, towards the end of April. And then once we got over that, that was it. The 0006 became support, and it has been here.
That looks really, really good to me. I like that chart. She's gotten out from underneath all her SMAs, pushed herself up onto the 50, really did that strong bounce. She has come all the way back down, but she landed firmly on that support you put down.
Yep.
And we've got two green bars coming up. I'm liking it. I mean, she looks worthy of watching. That's for bloody sure.
Here's the 1 hour. You can see it's just it has not been able to get over the 0008, but it did not fall below this 0006.
No,
that is a good sign. And that was after we looked at it. So it has held the support multiple times.
Yes.
So this is where we're at. This is what it's been doing for the last 2 weeks, give or take. So just right in between there.
I'd look for that to bounce back up to that last drop, at least.
Yeah, I mean, this is the 15-minute.
Yeah, she's showing signs of trying to change things. You can see she fell, went sideways, found a strong floor, got herself positioned, jumped off that floor, and I think she's put herself on another one. And she's going to bounce.
I would say if you can grab this at 0006, I think that would be good. That's what I would do.
Yeah, some 30%, 40%.
Oh yeah, small.
50%. Yeah,
entry position, not your full position.
Right. When we say entry, rarely do I ever buy anything all at once, unless maybe an IPO. If I'm getting in on an IPO, I want everything at once because it's going to run and I'm not buying it at those higher prices. I'm going to get it all now. But when I'm playing day trades on stocks that are out there, I don't know where that stock's going to go. And it really bums me out when it falls, unless I have an opportunity to buy more cheaper. Then all of a sudden the dip feels different. I'm not bumming about it because I'm working. I've already done my due diligence. I know the chart is supposed to climb because of what I know. So when it dips, that's just an opportunity. But if I don't have any money left over to buy anymore, now I'm bumming. So give yourself the opportunity to feel good on a dip. Don't buy everything at once.
Yeah, I don't know how easy it would be to sell at this 0008 or to buy at 0006, but if you did, that's 33% right there from 0006 to 0008. It's a 33% gain.
I can't see it coming back to
not nothing.
003 anytime soon. I don't know anything. That's just an impression I get. But I think the Nestle deal is going to make all the difference. Mm-hmm. And if Nestle comes into this, they're worldwide. They're going to be pushing their products worldwide. And as they showed you, they can go into multiple products. They've already got one product they want. They want that drink in those Tetra packages, but they could put it in everything else. So getting in at 000 on a big Nestle deal, that could be outstanding. It really could.
Yeah.
You got anything more?
I was responding to a comment. Okay. Here we go.
All right. I can follow with you. IJJP. This is IJJ Corporation. She finished today. Oh, we got another 0007. 0075. You can't buy it at that 5. That's only for brokers and marketers. It's
Right.
aggravating to see it there. We can get it at 7, 8, or 6. Nothing after or in between. She's up 25% today. We do get those half movements as part of the gains, though. That does come to us. She's on the pink tier and current. Got all that validated information we can hope for. So this is another company I had no idea what she was about. Let me take a quick peek up here at my right. All right, I've got some information I got to share with you here about this company. IJJ Corporation has a strong background in federal and Department of Defense information technology. That's a good start right there. Focusing primarily on software development and secure hosting services. Our expertise extends to exchange processing for commodities, digital assets indexing, utilizing exchange-level platforms to facilitate the trading of cryptocurrency as asset certificates and manage carbon credits. Now, I'm going to get a little more into this, but I want to get into this right now since we're here, because if I leave, I'll forget. Hartville Hemp Products, based in Ohio, is transitioning from sub-partner to subsidiary, expanding our presence into the carbon credit market. This is the first time, and I don't know why I haven't thought about this sooner. It was a couple years ago when I was talking about hempcrete, making concrete out of hemp. This pulls carbon out of the air for the life of the product. Growing the hemp pulls so much carbon out of the air, you just would not believe it. Hemp is one of the most friendly carbon plants out there. Well, just growing hemp can earn people carbon credits, just like Tesla got. They can get carbon credits because they're helping the planet get rid of carbon. And that's part of what they're doing here. Along with venturing into hemp cultivation, cannabis licensing, specialized products, and distribution orders. You got to grow the hemp for a certain purpose. Now, most of us are familiar with hemp as being used for CBD oils, which is primarily what it was initially made for. Right now, people have been leaching the THC out of hemp. There's 3% or less THC in hemp. Not enough to do anything to you unless you gather enough of it up. You can leach it out of all that hemp and get yourself enough to make Delta 8 or Delta 9, which is THC that can get you high. And companies have been doing that, selling it around the country, sending it across borders, basically breaking the intended laws for the way they separated marijuana from hemp. Marijuana gets you high, hemp doesn't. Well, the government passed a law just last week. Delta 8, Delta 9 are illegal now. You get caught with them, you're breaking the law. Hemp was not intended for that. Hemp is primarily an industrial product. It can be used to make plastics that have expiration dates. It can make clothing. It can make medicines. It can make bricks. It can make wood. Wood harder than our hardest wood. It can do all sorts of things, folks. We don't need to be making drugs to get high off of it. We got something for that. So what else have I got about this company? Well, I told you that they're working with all these different apps. That is their primary focus. Anything that moves money, whether it be payments, disbursements, donations, anything that moves money, they have an app to work with that. And these are a bunch of their different apps, working with carbon credit, business building partnerships. They got more of them down here. They got a lot of different apps for this. Was there anything down there? No, but I did have something over here. They seem to be in the middle of a merger. I couldn't find any news about it. I found it here. This is an update page that they have. They call it the roadmap page on their website. They show you their updates, constantly giving their updates right here. I love this page. I think every company should have one. Merger negotiation. The company is negotiating a merger with a licensed hemp production and distribution company, which includes test, laboratory research, and refinery services for various hemp products. We anticipate closing the merger in June. Right now, folks, it's going to be closing. Let's see here. Equity, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of information here. I don't want to bore you with all of it. This initiative also includes the acquisition and merging of an eligible OTC QB company. That's another merger. This company is on the pink. They want to merge with a company on the QB, the better tier. That company is a development of digital marketing department and the expansion of software team to develop a hosting platform titled the Secured Enterprise Exchange Platform, called SEEP. SEEP's projected to start development is scheduled for Q1 2024 and planned to launch Q4 2025. And they've got a lot more information here about these sort of things. There's a lot of information over here on their site, folks, so you may want to jump on over here. I got one more page I want to share with you, but not until we look at other information first. Looking at her relative volume. Today, she did about 113 million. Over the last 30 days, she's been doing 20 million. So we've jumped up over 5 times. Now, there was something about her volume that I was looking at today that made me ask questions. So I jumped over here to Yahoo to get the information. You can get every single day's high, low, open, close, and volume movement just by coming over here. Every single day. This is great information.
Nice.
Well, this company's not been doing bad. They've been doing about 10 million at the most, 6 million, 5 million. Well, then they jumped here on May 31st to 37 million. Dropped all the way back to 1.5 million the next day. Look at the day after that. Almost 500 million shares. Jumping from 1.5 million to 500 million. Then she fell back down to 86 million, which is way heck of a lot more than she was doing normally. Now she's dropped back down to 57. Folks, that's not a drop. This is a change. We have now pulled all of our volume way the heck up with a burst of 500 million. She's doing something different. She's put it into a new gear right now. Now is the time to be watching it, regardless of what information we can uncover. Others have uncovered something to excite them, or we wouldn't have all that extra volume there. All right, let's get back to this. Checking out the structure for the company. No. Okay. 2.1 billion outstanding. Restricted insiders own about 186 million. We get almost 2 billion shares. Again, worry about that reverse split. Sometime when they start getting popular near a penny, that would be my prediction. Market cap for the company, we're currently at 1.2 million. Financials for IJJP. It's kind of strange. It only goes up to 2021. We had $18,000 in 2021, and I don't see anything over here saying they're in trouble. What about their quarterlies? Okay, so we're missing, what was that, 2022 and 2023 annuals. They're not over here. That's a concern. We do have quarterlies here. They've been falling, going from 60 million down to 18 million. And we're making a little bit of profit, not much. Strange situation in the money department. All right, current cash in the bank, we got about $800,000. Double that for our assets, 1.6 million. Ooh, liabilities is cheap, $30,000. So we do have positive stockholder equity. That surprises me. 1.6 million. Okay. Disclosures, I'm sure we already been here, but it's a habit. 8K. Look at the headline at the top. Material agreement. I think I just told you about this. No. I did this already. It got me again. Look, the date. I spent time reading that whole thing. It is a merger with a company out of Wyoming back in 2022. I had it all lined up to share with you. That's the only reason I knew it was wrong. We almost dove into
there was nothing from this week, Tuesday, June 4th, for example?
June 4th. Let me see. Our last filing was on April, and our last piece of news. I don't see any news here.
Oh, okay.
Let me jump over here to Yahoo, because the OTC markets may sometimes they absolutely have no, it's blank. So we've had no new presses, no filings in years.
Okay.
And the volume has exploded. It is changing trend. The stock is starting to move, and I haven't got a clue why. If any of you know, please drop it in the comments. You can either drop it alongside or put it down deep. Either way, I want to see it. All right, Taylor, show us what's up with IIJP.
Sure. Okay, so I have it on regular candles just to show this gap up. So we closed at around, it's in between, okay, this is 0004, this 0005. It ended in between there and then gapped all the way up to open at 0007 the next day. So that's why I'm like I mean, it has tails on it, but
can you drop that down to the 5 minutes? See if it gapped pre-market.
Yeah, I just wanted to show this on regular.
Oh, no, you can come back. I was just wanting to see that now to see if it.
Oh my gosh, it's very hard to see on this. Like
Haikanashi.
I know, that's why I had it on the regular, so that's, but you can't really see the gaps as much. You can see.
No, I just want to see today if she did if that climb was.
It's not showing. It just shows a little bit this little brown area. So there's like these two candles, but it did start to run during the day, which was right here.
So this is all investors and not marketers or brokers.
Yeah, this was Tuesday when it started to. It did gap up like a little bit during pre-market. So this one candle here, and then this one. Sorry, this one is the one that started the day here.
Yeah. The first one there was just bumping heads like it always does, but that second one was a change of trend.
Yeah, right here was 8:30 Central, so that was at the start of the day. And then we jumped up here and hit our head on the 0009 and kind of just, you can see it.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. She walked on the 50, but that's a great landing. She was underneath the 200 before she did all of that. Now she's on top of the 200, on top of the 50. She's put herself in a better place and she's higher on the chart. So for all the dipping, you really can't complain. It's not looking all that bad.
Yeah, so this was, it's not showing really a lot, but this was Thursday, so it started, and it looks like here. But this was the big jump. That's why I asked about Tuesday. That was Tuesday's jump. You can't really see because it's not showing me any after hours or pre-market activity after this point here. So I can't
probably isn't days. If there isn't any trades, it just
it just so it's hard to decipher the days because usually it'll have like a pre-market.
They need to make those lines a little thicker.
Yeah, that's why it's just here's Tuesday pre-market and then here's what happened since. This is all 5 minutes. So this is all the information that I have for
go ahead and look at that 1 hour chart. I didn't mean to bring you off of the long chart.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
I was curious.
Yeah, here's the 1 hour.
Yeah, that doesn't look bad at all. It's kind of like a mini 5 minute chart. It's looking like she's trying to recover. She's in a good position.
What's weird is it's showing it here. There's the pre-market. I guess there might have been a little bit because here's some, and then here's some, these brown areas.
Yeah, showing up more on that chart, isn't it?
Yeah, but it looks like, see, it's weird because it's cutting off if there was no activity, because you can see this just small black area right here. That was Monday, and it's just showing this. That's all it's showing.
No trading that day.
Right. So, but on Tuesday, you can see all the hours.
Well, that's when we had that jump from 1.5 million to 500 million shares.
Yeah. Yeah. You can see the volume too on this. Wow. And then here's Wednesday, and then this was today. So it looks like if you're going by this, it looks like it picked up support around 0006. So that's good because it was barcoding in between.
The volume, I mean, it's not as strong as it was, but it's stronger than it's been.
It's stronger than it was way over here, like, beginning of May. But, this was kind of a resistance there for a while, this 0006. And now it looks like, according to this, it looks like it's picked up some support there.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt it.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's worthy of putting on my watch list.
Yeah, I don't hate it either.
News, that bothers me. But I know a lot of people that play charts and never look at the news. Never look at the fundamentals. All they care about is the chart because that's what pays them. Not the news press, the chart.
Right.
Last stock, we are at 5:30. Let's see if we can get this done before 5:45. All right. We are over here looking at MITQ. This is Moving Image Technologies. Never heard of this company either. I had to do some reading to learn about this company. Initially, Initially, it was like, are you kidding? This is really what this company does. It was more than that. MITQ Moving Images finished today at 67 cents. She fell 33% today, and she's on the New York Stock Exchange. So, this is what I read first. Moving Image Technologies is a leading provider of technology, products, and services to the motion picture exhibition industry and is now expanding into live entertainment venues and esports. We sell proprietary products which we design and manufacture in-house and are developing, introducing, and supporting a wide range of disruptive technologies that will bring SaaS, software as a service, subscription-based products. Our Caddy brand of proprietary manufactured products is a leading provider of cup holders, trays, and other products to the entertainment and sports venues. What? Cup holders? Are you kidding? Yeah, they were. I said there's got to be more to it than cup holders. Who has a business making cup holders? Well, we give them to the theaters. That's a lot of seats. That's a lot of cup holders. Okay, I can see that. But is it really all you do? Heck no. At Moving Image Technologies, we pride ourselves on being trailblazers in the industry, constantly pushing the boundaries with cup holders of what is possible in cinema and entertainment. Our custom metal and electronics fabrication capabilities, including projection pedestals, where you put your cameras to show your movies, fly grids and cages, retractable walls, and dynamic acoustic systems are transforming the way audiences experience movies and live events. With a relentless dedication to innovation and precision and unmatched craftsmanship, we are shaping the future of cinema and entertainment. They deal with everything, folks. They've got dimming lights. They've got movable walls so that new things are revealed, whether it be a movie screen or something else. They've got cup holders for every single chair. They've got trays. I mean, that really does add up. What else have we got here? We got some news. Which one of these pieces of news did I want to jump into? All right, we have one that came out in April. Company announces a stock repurchase program. Originally, it was for $1 million. They've cut it down to $365,000, but they're still doing a stock repurchase program. Replacing movie, right. They just came out with their quarterly reports, which may be the one we are looking at. And the company is awarded a multi-million-dollar contract. That's the one we're looking at. Moving Image Technologies, a leading technology and service company for cinema, esports, stadiums, arenas, and other out-of-the-home entertainment venues, today announced that it was awarded a new Alamo Drafthouse project for the new Georgetown location expected to open this summer in Indianapolis, Indiana. Alamo Drafthouse is an organization that owns a lot of movie houses. This state-of-the-art cinema is the 44th Alamo site equipped by MIT, promising an unparalleled cinematic experience for local audiences. Now, they give a lot of information here about what they're doing here, but these two caught my attention. A complete suite of MIT's proprietary manufactured products, including energy management solutions, bases, dimmers, automation systems, and ADA equipment. Cutting-edge 4K laser projection from Bearco, 100 4K laser projection. I don't know anything about this, folks. So they got a lot of stuff that they put into these cinemas, a lot of equipment, things they manufacture and design themselves. And this is just one of the companies that they're working with. So what was the relative volume around MITQ today? Big explosion, huge, jumping from 100,000 shares a day over the last 30 days to 3.1 million. You are looking at, what is that, 31 times her normal volume, which would be 3,100%. I think. Share structure. All right. We got a low float. Not that I know what it is, but the outstanding share count is only 10.1 million. Our float can't be any higher than that, and the low float starts at 10 million. And it could even be considerably less than that. Our Well, something's weird here. That's dollar for dollar. They say that our market cap is exactly our outstanding share count, which it would be if the price was a dollar, which it isn't. It's 67 cents, so it should be lower than that, closer to 7 million. And speaking of the price being under a dollar, this is a stock on the major exchange which has a minimum bid price requirement of $1. You go under a dollar for too long, they'll kick you off the major exchange. But not without a warning. You get 6 months to fix it. We, the investors, we have to fix it. We got to bid that price up over a dollar, close over a dollar for 10 consecutive days. Do that, and the company is out of hot water. If we don't do that, they've got one of two choices. Let the company be delisted down to the OTC, which is going to hurt the price bad and hurt the company's reputation, or do a reverse split, which is going to hurt us. So we've got one of three options. The best one is to bid the price up over a dollar. Come on, folks, let's do that. And speaking of that, I did not see, and I didn't actually look, I did not see if they have a notice from the NASDAQ stating that they have got a deadline. One of these 8Ks may be exactly that. And that's all you do. You just jump into each one, and up at the top, it's going to say notice from the NASDAQ or the exchange. So just that quick, you can dive in and out, in and out, in and out, and see if they've got a warning. Or you can go to Google and just put in, I don't know, put in the city, put in the ticker, the company name, and maybe compliance. That would be the keyword, compliance. All right. I don't have anything else to share with you about MITQ, but I think Taylor does.
I have a little bit, yeah. So this is the daily, and I have it on regular candles just because I want to show this gap. And this was on Tuesday. This candle here was Tuesday. This was Wednesday. We went all the way up to a high of 144. We opened at around 120. So, I mean, I'm just going to explain this. I know this is probably too easy for a lot of people, but some people don't know, so I'm just going to say it. The red candles, so we open here and then we close down here.
Right.
All right. Green candle opens at the bottom and then closes at the top if you're looking at a daily chart.
You know, that's common sense, but I didn't know it for a year. I was reading the top of every bar. Every bar.
Yeah. So this one opened at 120 that day, which is insane considering it closed at 70 cents the day prior. Now we do have some tails and tops on this. So we did go all the way up to 144, but then we closed down here like around $1, maybe a little bit below $1. And then we gapped down the next day, which is right where we closed the day 2 days prior on the Tuesday at 70 cents and came back down. So this is a very strange interaction with these three.
That's a rocket pattern. Do you see
that? Yeah.
It's a rocket. That's getting ready to launch, folks. It just put on this.
Yeah, this gap here is just crazy. It's almost,
honestly, I don't know what to think about that chart.
I don't either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to Heikin-Ashi and I'm going to go down to the 1 hour so we can see what's going on. Here we go.
Yeah, that makes it a little more reasonable.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out what was going on from day to day, which was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, how much the price changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on Tuesday, this was during the day on Tuesday. The brown is like pre-market.
Yep.
So we started at around 55 cents and this is a steady climb here. Even after hours, it moved a lot after hours. Pre-market Wednesday is when we had this big, didn't mean to do that. Big, huge spike. This was pre-market again. But then during the day,
bounces pre-market than aftermarket. Those pre-market bounces, I don't know if it's because people are tired and can't see the prices they're putting on the board, but wow, you get big bounces at 3, 4, 5 in the morning, and I can't bid until 7. So it's very aggravating for me.
It would be, yeah, because this is crazy. Because then we opened, looks like we opened it around like 127, and then you can see what's been going on since. Now we're back down to this 59 cents range, which was which was about like before that pop happened, just a little bit still above it, but that pop started on Tuesday, so like Monday evening it ended at like closed at like 54 cents. Now we're back down to 59 cents after hours on a Thursday.
But we're smack dab on top of that 200
It
firmly.
is.
No
Yep.
wick, no wick underneath it. We're just stabbed on top of it.
Yeah.
So now it's a watch. Is she going to push and test that, or is she going to start to bounce off of it? I think because of the strong SMAs coming on her head, she may rubber ball it. She may go under the 200 a bit before she comes back up. But I'm thinking she is on a change of trend. I think she wants to climb. That was one big motion there. We've had a change. And that's, again, when you see a stock do something different, watch it. Just watch it. It won't cost you anything to watch it.
Yeah. But these volume bars, this is just crazy to me. We have like nothing. It's just flat line up until like this Wednesday morning area. And then you can see this is where that volume came in huge. And now we're back down. It's still above what it was, prior, but it's really dropped off. So I don't know if the hype is over or what went on with that. If this was just some kind of pump and dump, I'm not sure what's going on with it. I do not know. We can look at the 15-minute if you want. And it does not look that great. It changes your perspective when you go from the daily over to the 15-minute.
Well, here's something you may want to see. Let me pop you over to me. I'm looking at the volume for this stock, right? Okay. And I'm at Yahoo. Well, look at the fifth yesterday's. 67 million shares.
Yeah.
But look at all the time before. We weren't ever even getting close to a million.
Yeah.
Then we took one bounce the day before to 2 million, jumped to 67. Now we're back down to 3, but we are still way above her normal volume.
Yes. Correct.
So it's definitely worth watching. And with that kind of volume, that's when change occurs. That's when you're going to get your runs. And we've got 2 stocks there, IIJP and MITQ, that have had huge volume bursts in the last few days. So put them on your watch list. Even if we can't find a reason that they're running, the volume tells us there is something going on.
Yeah,
and you could see a run that wasn't obvious. But because you watched this show, you knew to watch the stock, and you were able to catch that gain. Woohoo!
Yay!
We almost hit a record today. We're at 542. I think 544 is our record. So we're going to get out of here before we set any new records. Thank you, Taylor, for being here, staying so long with me. Thank you, everybody else. And Martin Lawrence, I didn't forget about you, buddy. I just didn't want to get Will jealous. I know you wanted to talk about game and you wanted to talk about AMC. Both of them are outside of the penny stock range. AMC just a little, but I'll tell you the real reason I'm not talking about either. They're mostly short plays. It's not about the news. It's not about catalysts. It's not about money they're making. It's about shorts. And this is a whole different type of catalyst that I normally don't deal with. To me, trying to find a stock that's going to run based on short squeeze is like trying to predict where a tornado is going to hit in my eyes. And I can't do that. So I just don't talk about them because I don't know enough to be able to guide you correctly with short squeezes. So you're right. AMC and Game are ones to be talking about. But the truth is, there's 100 people out there talking about those stocks. You don't need my naive opinion about it. I promise you. But thanks for asking. I appreciate you being here, Martin. I appreciate all of you being here. And I'll be here next week. I do believe Taylor will be here as well. Yeah. Never can tell. She has vacations that just pop up. You never know. I heard rumor of another one here too, didn't I?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to make an announcement next week for everybody. So,
I
already typed that in the comments.
Yeah. All right, folks. We'll see you next week, Thursday, 4:00 Eastern Standard Time. As soon as the market's closing, we're going on. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Home Alone? Sure, why not?